We are live, episode 6, the Minutemen Pod. Today's date's August 13th, 2023. And John, we just wrapped up the first preseason game against the Houston Texans. A lot of good, a lot of bad. We're going to recap this episode with talking about the game, first through fourth quarter, and then we're going to kind of go through offense and defense, special teams, 53-man roster, what we think it's going to look like at the end of camp. So, John, what were your thoughts on week one in
Yeah.
Foxborough?
Yeah, I mean, football's actually back. It's actually back. Looking forward to roster projection 1.0. But honestly, if we're being completely honest, a couple things. You can't really take away a lot from these preseason games anymore. I feel like the scrimmages and practices with, like, they have the Packers this week. You can get a lot more from those than you can games this year or in the last couple years. But overarching issue is the offensive line depth is just atrocious. That's the only thing I really took away. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, I feel like after the first couple quarters, it was kind of just a snooze fest.
Yeah,
I mean, the Patriots, we weren't lighting anything up on offense either, so that probably played into a factor of the game not being very special or
yeah,
anything. We had a bunch of no names who probably won't be anywhere near the
no,
roster at the end of camp playing.
yeah,
But I mean, like you said, the offensive line, it was a struggle. No starters played. There were some bright spots and like moments for the offensive line, but other than that, we kind of looked like we just got manhandled, and we were the reason that when we had turnovers, we got good field possession. We weren't doing anything with that on
yeah.
offense because the O line collapsed, and they kept running fucking screens. Can we stop that? Like, I get it's a
Oh my God, I know.
preseason. Throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, you want
Screens
to know
aren't
why?
helping
Zappy's
anyone.
got a noodle arm. Zappy has a noodle arm. That is why. No, but all in all, no, I completely agree. But granted, they've had 2 weeks of practices. They're still getting their installs in. So I get it, but it can't continue. But
I know.
if we're being honest, if we're being honest here,
Fuck you.
if we're being honest, I have a feeling O'Brien is going to have to call this short, quick game shit because the offensive line is going to be not reliable. It's
We
not going to
didn't
be
have any
reliable.
starters. I know. I agree. I'm not too high on the O line just because we kind of had the same group really last year. How many returning starters do we have? 4 out of 5 returning starters.
Yeah, 4 to 5.
4 to 5 returning starters, which is a scary thought. Hopefully they're all healthy, and that's just a scary thought. Do you think did we even upgrade at like the tackle position?
No, that's the
No.
issue. We didn't. We did
I
not.
know.
We honestly, I mean, yeah, I mean, Riley Reef might be just as bad as Isaiah Wynn. Riley Reef, really, he might be a guard. I did see today at practice they kicked him inside at guard, so
Yeah.
maybe because he's a big dude. Once he gets his hands on somebody, they're not gonna.
Yeah, no, he
Bull
could be
rush him.
kicked inside out. I think it just depends on who's healthy or where he's going to end up lining up.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was it. But I mean, the start of the game, Jalen Mills, like an interception on C.J. Stroud, like fire me up. He acted like it was the postseason when he made the interception.
He was fired up. I don't think he wanted to be out there. That's why. But he was fired up.
But it was dope, dude. I loved it. We got our first looks at Gonzo. Questionable number choice on him. I wish he was number
I don't
0.
think
I'm guessing
sick.
19.
Yeah, he'll go to 0. A bunch of
no, he won't.
Yeah, he will.
I think if he wanted 0, he would have had it. Like, no one does that. I think Bill's like, no one's going to be number 0 on my team.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But then we have great field position. It's I think we need to score there. You know what I mean?
I mean, what are you supposed to do behind that offensive line? Like, he had no
we're
time.
Inside the 20, at least try to huck one up deep to Taekwon. He ended up having like a nice third and long completion with him and Zappy, which is really good.
His arrow's pointing up, thank God. It's one catch. I don't want to overreact, but he needed that. That was a roster.
He did. It looked
right
good.
After that, right after that,
yeah.
Max texted me immediately, roster saving catch, and honestly, I think you're right because that was a huge catch.
Yeah, you don't not make plays if you're kind of. I wouldn't say he's a bubble guy. Like, he was a lock for the roster, I think, to begin with. But he halfway through the year, at the end of the year, it's kind of like a make or break year for him. Still is. at least that catch could give him some more reps in week 1,
Yeah,
week
for
2,
sure.
like moving forward.
Yeah.
Gonzo had like a nice punch out, I think I
Yeah,
remember,
a little peanut
on a
punch.
ball. Yeah, and then Keon White, I mean, what
Oh
he
my
just runs around
god.
with his head cut off,
Why did we
right?
wait so long for Keon White? That guy, I'm not kidding you. This defense, this pass rush might be the best Belichick's ever had. This is
Yeah,
going to
no,
be unreal.
I'm glad they were lining Keon up on the outside and just having him fucking bull rush every play. Like I think that he showed explosive. He can play the run too.
Oh
Like
my
he's
god,
aware. He's
he
aware.
sets that edge, and I saw a video. I'm pretty sure I saw this a couple months ago. He's 290 pounds. He runs a 4.7, and in college he would when the running backs would run the wheel routes, he was capable of defending them. I mean, that guy is versatile. He's not similar to Mapu, but just versatile defense. Looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
I think when we need to rush the passer, we're gonna see a lot of packages with Judon and Uche, but like maybe like third and short, second and short things where they're gonna try to run it. I think we're gonna see a lot of Keon White in there because I think he adds that ability kind of drop back and also play stuff a run that Uche doesn't really have. Uche's kind of just all on the outside.
And during my roster projection tonight, I initially forgot about Wise. Like, he might be the odd man out. Like, in passing situations, you get 4 guys up front. You get Judon, Uche on either side, Barmore, and Keon White. Like, I'm sorry, I'm taking Keon White over Wise right now. Wise is still a good pass rusher, but he's going to be the odd man out.
I think in crucial downs they're going to have Wise on that field.
Yeah,
he's shown up clutch in the past, and I think he's going to continue to. I know what you're saying. Like I agree with you in the point where it's like Keon White. It seemed like he was close to making that next step. Again, it was against the Houston Texans week 1 of the preseason, but like it is telling. Like when you see some guys make some plays like that, like it's telling. Like he puts the effort in, so hopefully he'll be there.
Oh yeah, and just as far as the defensive side of the ball, Anthony Jennings. I think it's his 3rd, maybe 4th year. Pretty injury prone. He had a pretty good camp and he played really well. I think he had like 4 or 5 pressures, but just that edge group is just so deep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of those guys, we have some good depth. That when that first team of defense was out there, we were pretty shut down. Against Stroud and then even Mills, like we still had some of those guys on there. So pretty much though, like from offense, defense, special teams, we saw them start. Like not a lot of starters played, at all. Like I wouldn't consider anyone who played that week to be a starter. If we're just talking
besides like Gonzalez and Jack Jones.
Yeah, besides the rookies, Jack Jones, the younger second-year guys.
Yeah.
Other than that, no one else was out. No vets were out there that I was like, all right, these guys are going to be on the first team.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, chalk up the L week 1.
Yeah, I mean, another interesting. They showed Mapu a couple times. He was still not cleared from his pec injury. I think he had headphones on, and he had a notepad standing next to Mayo, just conversing back and forth a couple different shots. I think that's really interesting. I mean, he's not going to call the plays year 1. That's definitely Bentley, but like, that's good. That's impressive for a young guy.
Yeah, well, I said last time he's a guy who's going to be in a leadership position. He has the smarts, and he's going to have that. He's earning that C on his chest eventually.
Oh my god!
That's what we'll see that middle linebacker role. And Jelani Tavai and like Mac Wilson was all right, but Jelani Tavai was out there, dude. Like he was out there playing, and I think he doesn't want to be like. I think he wants to be like that number 1 linebacker. Which we're kind of paying him to be. Yeah.
Bill has really turned that guy's career around. It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jelani Tavai, but I not a homer take here. This defense is going to be top 3 defense. My only issue is in today's NFL. I honestly don't know if good defense beats a good offense. But this defense.
John, I have to disagree with you wholeheartedly there. Defense will always win championships.
I disagree.
Defense, special teams always wins championships.
Disagree.
And it loses them as well, but it will win them as well.
I'm sorry.
Even in today's day and age, it still wins.
You think we're in the AFC Conference Championship game this year? You think
you need to have an offense that can compete. You need to have an offense.
You think we're stopping Patrick Mahomes?
I think you can dull someone down. If you have an offense that can compete, you can dull down a team to be able to win the game.
But do we have an offense that competes?
Not right now, no.
Yeah, so we're in trouble.
I mean, we've got a long way to go throughout a season. Like we don't really have a championship roster, but if our offense plays above what they are on paper, we do. Defense on paper, we have a championship defense. But other than that, like offense is like we'll have to see. It's a wait and see game with them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is a wait and see, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
It comes down to QB1. Yeah. That's what it comes down to.
It does. It does.
If
Mac Jones, it falls on Mac's shoulders. That's really
it really does. It comes down to QB1.
And guess what? That guy is playing it off well. He acts like he's got no pressure. All of the New England, any Patriots fan is putting. They must believe in Mac. I mean,
if they start cheering for Bailey Zappi.
Oh god!
No, but it really does. Like, if Mac Jones doesn't go out there and play like, I mean, I can't even say like a top 5 quarterback in the conference because the conference AFC is just so loaded. But like he was like in the running for Rookie of the Year. Like, why can't he go out and play like Joe Burrow? Like he had an undefeated Alabama team that won a national title too. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's done it before.
Burrow's different. I wouldn't compare him to Burrow.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
I had this conversation Friday night with a friend who I think, why can't Mac Jones be a top 12 quarterback and why can't he be better than Kirk Cousins? I agree. I think he's more talented than Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has got a great setup right now with the best receiver in the league. But his first year, like, I get it. They weren't explosive. Efficient. He was so efficient his rookie year, Mac. Like, he was a top 12 quarterback. I don't know why he can't do. I think he can do that, to be completely honest with you.
But even think about it, like when Kirk was on the Redskins, like maybe they didn't win too many games, but like he put some numbers up at least. You know what I mean? He was still hucking the ball around.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Why can't Mac do that? I understand last year's second sophomore slump. We've said it again and again over again. It's a no excuse season. You have a competent offensive coordinator. You have a good offensive roster around you. It's put up or shut up at this point.
The offense around him it's sufficient, or it's below average. I think
it's good. No, it's just good. It's not. We don't have any superstars. Maybe besides Ramondre Stevenson, like he has a chance to become like a star in the league this year. Sure. But other than that, you know what I mean. It's just a bunch of good players. No one's above average. They're just they're there. They've competed. They've earned the right to be in their positions.
Yeah, I guess. We just don't have any superstars, which would have been great for Max.
Yeah, which would have been great. It would have been phenomenal if we could have gotten D-Hop. But we can work without it.
Yeah, we're just beating the dead horse at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, and in other QB news, Malik Cunningham.
He had a nice little explosion, like surprising in the fourth there when we got the ball in his hands. I think like if you play like that, you earn a spot on the roster somehow. And I think we've seen Bill do it in the past, though. Like he says the guys go out in the preseason game, like in all those documentations, anything you stock, like he didn't know where they were going to put them, but he knew they earned a spot on the roster. Like for God's sakes, he kept Tom Brady as like their fourth quarterback just because he knew he earned a right to be there.
Yeah, for sure. And just a little background on Malik Cunningham. So he went to Louisville. He actually backed up Lamar Jackson, and like if you were watching from a distance, like they played really similar, obviously, but I think honestly they're gonna have this is a bold prediction. August 13th at 8:38 p.m. I believe that Cunningham's gonna get he's gonna be active over Zappi to start the year. I just think that they're gonna build some red zone packages for him. I think it would be unbelievable. That's just
I think you have so much hatred for poor Bailey Zappi that you would if it came down, you'd be like, and I think they're actually going to put Cole Strange in the quarterback slot above Bailey Zappi because he's earned the right to do. Like you have so much hate for that man. Bailey Zappi is clear cut our backup quarterback. He's the number 2, if Malik Cunningham makes the roster, he'll be the number 3 QB, but he'll also have that QB slash wide receiver slash tight end that Taysom Hill has on the Saints roster. And yeah, you're right. I think we make some packages for him like we did with Marcus Jones.
So why not? So why not dress him? You get what is it, like 48 guys to dress? 46, 40. You get to dress 46 guys. Why not? Those 46. The 46 is important. Why would you why would you dress 3 QBs? Why not dress 2?
I think you only dress 2, but I don't think Malik Cunningham gets the dress. I think maybe he does here and there, but like, Jesus Christ, Mac hasn't shown to be like the most healthy player out in the field. Like, God forbid he goes down. We don't want Malik Cunningham playing 4 quarters of New England Patriot football for us. Like,
well, guess what? Chalk that one as a loss, but I'm going in with Mac Jones healthy.
You take your chances, but I think they make, if Malik Cunningham is playing, I think that's taken out from wide receiver. I don't think we see one of the young guys dress or someone's injured. Like, I think that's where Malik Cunningham comes on to being dressed on the football field. I don't think he gets there by earning the number 2 spot. I don't think he earns that backup. It's a backup.
I'm not.
It's not a secret weapon. What? It's a backup.
Guess what?
No, John. You think the number 2, like, just because we're dressing 2 QBs, you think the second guy should be like a Swiss Army knife? He's the backup quarterback there for emergencies.
Did you see Mike Reese's tweet today?
What did Mike Reese say?
He got a first-team rep in the red zone with the offense today.
All right, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's going to be 3 quarterback stress if Malik Cunningham's on the field.
No, but there's that new rule where 3 can dress, I think.
No, that's like an that's like emergency. I don't even think that means like he can dress. I think like you can have him. It's like separate from the 53.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's like you have your 53 man, but like you can have the extra quarterback technically on your roster as if he can be on the sideline. Like, and if guy goes down, you can just tell him to dress up and he'll go in. Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, this is the last comment I'll make on the quarterback situation. 1 week ago today, people were talking about Mac Jones versus Bailey Zappi. Guess where we're at now? We're at Bailey Zappi versus Malik Cunningham for QB2.
I think you're crazy. Dude. You're just coming from such a place of hatred. It's actually hilarious. I think Malik Cunningham, he's just trying to he's vying for a roster spot, not to be on practice squad. That's all he is.
And honestly, I'm not.
He's not fighting for QB2. He's vying.
No, I know.
He's proved himself useful to an offense, which is why he might get a roster, like a not even a roster spot, but like something on 53. And if he dresses up,
I think he's earned a 53 spot. I think he's earned a 53 spot.
It's still week 1. We don't know. He could look like Kaka in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, true.
So we'll see on that. All right. Well, that's enough on week 1 players we saw. We'll look forward to preseason game week 2. I think we're in Lambeau, right?
Yep, in Lambeau. Going this week to do some joint practices. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be. I really hope we see first team everyone out there. Get a couple drives of Jordan Love v. Mac Jones. And then I'm excited to see everything else that happens in the rest of that game as well.
Yeah. Hopefully the starters maybe get a drive. I don't know if they will, though. They might wait till week 3.
I mean, I think they definitely have to get a drive here in week 2.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
1 drive. But every coach differently. I don't really – I feel like in the past, Bills played starters, after week 1 in the preseason. So we'll see what he does this week.
Yeah, we'll see. But, all right. That leads us...
You want to start off with offense or defense first? We're going to go into, what we think are the final roster cuts. I chose the offense roster. John did the defense. I don't know what he chose. He doesn't know what I chose. So we're going to talk it all out and kind of compare and see what we might have done different.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I think we should start with the offense.
All right. So we'll start from quarterback group. So I'm going to list out who I have, who made the rosters at 53, and the depth chart of which they'll be in. So for quarterbacks, Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi, and I did throw in Malik Cunningham as a cute quarterback on the 53-man depth chart, but I also put a bunch of slashes next to him as quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end,
That's
secret
good.
weapon.
Utility.
So I threw a whole bunch in there, but I think he does get listed on the 53 as QB3. I think
Yep.
he's active as well. I think that's active 53. Whether he dresses, I don't know,
Yep.
but he'll be active.
I agree.
Then into running backs. Running backs, after I made this, I realized maybe how fucked we are. Because just look at
go ahead.
So I had Ramondre Stevenson, clear cut one, workhorse. And then number 2, I just put Ty Montgomery as a third down back wide receiver. I know he's like out right now, but Bills, he used him week 1 a lot, like in Miami, like last year before he got injured again. Like, I think he's playing in the offense because after that, there was options of J.J. Taylor, who I think is going to get cut again in practice squad. So I Pierre Strong and then Kevin Harris. But in quotations, I'm just doing 4 because in past we've had deeper backfields like that.
Yeah.
I said could get cut / practice squad if we sign a vet. I think that goes to say with Pierre Strong or Kevin Harris. I think if the Patriots end up making a move for a veteran running back who we've worked out a couple, 1 or 2 of those guys is going to get on the practice squad and or cut.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Kevin Harris.
Yeah, he looks slow.
Yeah, he doesn't look great.
He looks slow, but I think Ty Montgomery's a lock for the 53. I think Bills wanted to use him in some certain ways, so we'll see how that goes. And then wide receiver, so I have them making 6 on the roster. That's kind of a big touchy place where a lot of people weren't sure if they're going to go 6 or 5. Haven't gone 6 in a while on the 53. So I have Devontae Parker, Juju, interchangeable 1 and 2. Then Tyquan, who earns the 3, and then Kendrick Bourne. And then I have 5 Demario Douglas, and then 6 Keyshawn Boutte. I said I could also see Demario taking some slot reps away from Juju, depending on how it goes. But just certain slot plays. I don't think we see Demario Douglas, as an every down wide receiver. I think he only sees like 25% of offensive snaps. Of those 25%, he's probably going to be out on like 3 different routes. But I could see him maybe slowly taking slot routes away from Juju. And then I put Tyquan over KB just because I think we see Tyquan on the field. He has to earn it a little bit more, but I think him earning a little bit more will end up giving him that edge over KB. Just to start things out, though. Yep. Tight end, I went with Hunter Henry 1, Gesicki 2. Again, interchangeable. And then Matt Sokol earning that 3 spot. I had some honorable mentions at that 3rd spot tight end, but it is what it is. And then O-line for starters. Pretty much I'm just doing this given that we don't have any injury coming to week 1.
Yeah.
Trent Brown, tackle, Strange guard, David Andrews center, Owinu guard. And then I have Riley Reif as the tackle over Calvin Anderson. I would believe is kind of his thing. But again, I could see, and then Calvin Anderson, Connor McDermott. And then I have the 3 rookies, Sid Sow, Antonio Mafi, and Jake Andrews all making the roster. I hate to draft someone and then them not make it through camp.
Yep.
I could see Sid Sow. I could see Anderson kind of taking that tackle away from Riley Reif and then refilling in a guard or, wherever he's needed when someone goes down.
Yeah, I completely agree there. Yeah,
honorable mentions, though. I'll just go through honorable mentions real quick. I had J.J. Taylor, who's going to be practice squad. We'll see him on the active roster at some point this year, I'm sure. Trey Nixon, I feel like he's had a good preseason. I feel like he meshes well, but again, we might see him on the roster at some point this year if someone goes down. Other than nice practice squad. Anthony Frisker, tight end. Friends, Stuber, and Hines all on O-line. Just a bunch of guards, pretty much. They're just not going to make it. They might be on the practice squad again. Those are guys we could see on the roster at some point this year.
Yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, I agree pretty much with everything you said. What interests and then Pop Douglas only had 2 snaps the other night. They showed a video. I saw it on Twitter. He was wide open in the end zone on one of them out of the slot. Like, I think his ceiling's pretty high. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. I agree. High ceiling for Pop Douglas. But again, if you're paying the other guys so much money, they're going to get the reps to start out.
For sure.
He's going to have to earn. He's going to have to earn it. He'll be on the field a little bit. If he earns it when he's on the field, we'll see more from him. But overall, it's 26 men. I say the key points of it are the 6 wide receivers and the 3 quarterbacks, adding Malik Cunningham in there. Other than that, I think everything is kind of like cut and dry. Could see some I was thinking of like 4 tight ends. If we do 4 tight ends, the receivers are going to go.
Yeah,
I personally would really love to see us sign a veteran running back and not have 4 running backs on the active roster.
yeah. I mean, I think Zeke's like he's actually a necessity after this week. Like pass protecting too. Like
Yeah.
if our lineman's that poor, like you're gonna need a pass protector out of your running back, and Mondre's just gonna get worn down again like he did towards the end of last year. So
Even if it's not Zeke, like if Zeke's going to be too much money, like get some other veteran presence who succeeded somewhere else.
I
Like
agree.
someone who can pass block, someone who can get those red zone touchdowns. Like Fournette's still out there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
we did some other guy who played for the Rams, like Henderson. I'm pretty sure, right?
Oh yeah, Daryl
Yeah,
Henderson. Yeah,
he's a veteran guy who's never been great, but like he'll go out there and he'll be better than fucking Kevin Harris or Pierre Strong.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think our roster's still incomplete. We have some holes, but if guys go out there and they they play good, we could see some magic happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. But all right, on to the defense. Max had 26 spots on the offense, meaning if my math is correct, I've got 27. I think is my math.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my math's correct. All right, so let's start with the defensive tackle position. So first off, Godshaw's 1, Lawrence Guy 2, Barmore 3, Ukulele 4. I mean, like that's for the early down. Like Barmore's for sure going to be there,
Yeah,
to pass rush. But then Ukulele Daniel Ukulele or whatever his name is.
yeah,
He was pretty good last year. He had a really good first preseason game this last week. Had a bunch of hurries, pressures. I think he had a sack. All in all, pretty deep position. 2 pass rushers, two run stoppers, and like where we're at there. And this is where it gets fun. The edge rushers. Obviously, Judon Uche locks, Keon White lock, Wise lock, and this is where I kind of ran into an issue here at the 5th spot. I kept Anthony Jennings just as a depth option because he's been really good, and I think they're going to keep him because he's been too good to put him on waivers.
mm-hmm.
He was one of my last guys on, like one of my last 3 guys on, but I think they'll end up keeping him, and just a lot of versatility there. I mean, mix and match, and early downs, you don't need Uche. He's not a great run stopper, but Keon White and Wise out there, and you got great front 7. Next position, linebacker. This was also really difficult. So I had Juwan Bentley, obviously, Marte Mapu, Tavai, and Mac Wilson. Mac Wilson was literally my last guy on the roster. Not sure we need him, but with Mapu's injury, you never know. One guy goes down, and you only got 2 or 3 linebackers. So felt like
Mm-hmm.
he was needed there for depth concerns. But yeah, front 7 locked and loaded. Excited to watch them. Very versatile, like I keep mentioning. Now we're on to the secondary. So as far as the cornerback goes, we got Gonzo on the best receiver, number 1 receiver, number 1 cornerback. John Jones out of the slot, and then you got Jack Jones, who didn't. I watched the first half and he was out there. Didn't think he played that well. Thought he got burnt a few times.
Yeah, I agree.
He's
He was out there. That's what it
yeah,
felt like.
yeah. He's a ball hawk. Like he's going to be around the ball constantly, but he probably takes too many gambles. But yeah. So those 3 corners, Marcus Jones a lock. So really, this is interesting. I only have 4 corners, but I have a corner converted to safety in my safeties. So we got, like I mentioned, Gonzo, Jones, then the 3 Joneses.
Mm-hmm.
Safety. This is the deepest position of them all. Duggar, lock. Phillips, easy. Peppers, it's going to be a dog this year.
Dog.
Jalen Mills,
Dog.
and Miles Bryant.
Yeah.
So Miles Bryant really hasn't, the past couple weeks hasn't been a cornerback, and I think that's going to benefit him in the long run, or this year. They put him at like center field where he doesn't have to rely on his long speed. He can rely on his wits and his smarts. And I think that's really going to benefit him because that's what his attributes were coming out of school. He's smart, and he knows where the ball is at all times. Yeah, so we got those 5 safeties, and then I got 5 special teamers. This is a good one. Ryland versus Folk. Picked Ryland. He's got the bigger leg. I mean, Folk's steady automatic from within 40, but we're going to need all the points we can get this year.
Yeah.
Ryland's got the bigger leg, a little more inconsistent, but I think he's going to be really good. Got Behringer's the punter. That punter battle's over. Behringer's got a boot. Just an absolute
That's a lock.
boot. Yeah, that's a lock.
Poor buddy got set up for failure, to be honest with you.
I know. And then third special teamer, obviously, Joe Cordona just got a fat extension as the long snapper.
Hell yeah.
Brendan Schooler, he's a great special teamer. And then my last one, who's also a linebacker, could fit into the linebackers, is Chris Board. They paid him decent guaranteed money from the Lions. Last year, Belichick called him like the best special teamer that we're going to face all year. So yeah, that rounds out the 53. Honorable mentions: Isaiah Bolden, who was a cornerback, 7th rounder. With Board, honestly, I could see the Patriots releasing Mack Wilson. Board's he's a linebacker, similar to Mack Wilson, great athlete. And then just swapping Bolden for Mack Wilson. He was the last guy off. And then Josh Bledsoe, second or third year safety out of Missouri. He's a little, I don't know. I really haven't seen enough of him, and I feel like that depth chart's they got way too many safeties to keep him around. But yeah, that rounds out the 53, and I think the defense is absolutely loaded and just so deep.
Yeah, I think you did a good job. I think mentioning some of the guys that were honorable mentions for special teams there kind of just maybe rethink like the offensive side a little bit. I find it very hard for them to think, unless Keyshawn Butte is, and even with some of those online, unless they're really, as he's adding so much to a special teams aspect as well. Like if he's going to be a gunner and like
I don't think he will though. I know. I don't think he will.
So unless we have that, then I think it's going to be really tough for him to make this team. Like he's going to have to be. They're going to have to see something really special in some of these guys on offense.
I know. I find it hard that they're going to keep Butte, honestly. Like, he doesn't separate. He's got pretty good hands. He just doesn't separate, and we've got enough guys that don't separate.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
All right. Well, that was a good recap of who we think is going to be on the final rosters. We got, again, like we said, Lambeau this next week. It'll be a good little battle. Hopefully we see some starters. And then we're kind of just keep on chugging along until week 1.
Right around the corner.
The NFC champions, the returning NFC champions. Huge game. Revenge game for us v. Patricia.
Tom Brady's back.
Tom Brady jersey retirement. Is it going to be your jersey retirement, or is he just showing up just to say what's up?
No, I think he's just showing up to say what's up.
It should be a jersey retirement. And a Patriots Hall of Fame.
Yeah, thing. Guess what? Yeah, no. Wait, did they retire? No. Is it? I think it's the Patriots Hall of Fame. No, maybe not. I don't know.
It should be both, to be honest. Like, let's get that shit out of the way with.
I know. Because Jules had his, 2 years ago? We were at that game.
Yeah.
Against the Saints, remember that?
Yeah, Jules. Greatest Patriot of all time of the modern era.
Yeah, 100%.
And just bodies what it is to be a Patriot.
Foxborough forever. Jules, not even a comparison.
Jules, come on the pod.
On a short, Jules, come on, get on the pod. In a short list, greatest Patriots of the last 20 years. Jules, D-Mac, Foxborough forever, and then we got Tommy.
Yeah, D-Mac. Jules, D-Mac, Foxborough, Slater.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Slater.
Then Boom Tower.
Oh, no, I forgot about Slater on the 53. Oh, okay, well, scratch Mack Wilson, you got Slater in there. So there you go.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh, I knew I was missing somebody.
You dickhead.
All right.
All right, well, that concludes episode 5. See you next Sunday.
Go Pats.